Do we need user stories? As part of a feature-oriented process, some companies write user stories. The format is typically, as a user type, I need thing or feature to accomplish goal. Our solution is pre-decided, so we give these stories to CX designers and tell them to design what is described. In a task-oriented, more customer-centric process, CX doesn't need user stories. Perhaps engineering doesn't need user stories either. User stories are supposed to help engineers understand our planned features from customers' perspectives. If everybody reviews research videos and artifacts, we have well-written problem statements, and we collaborate with engineers in every phase. What would user stories give engineers that they don't already have? Atlassian's article on user stories includes the following as an example of a good user story. Web link, cxcc.to/A190. Quote, as Sasha, I want to organize my work so I can feel more in control. End quote. That's a user story, but is it good? What do we really know about Sasha? What details do we have on their workflows and tasks? What does organizing their work mean to them? What does work feeling out of control look like for them? Atlassian's article says that the purpose of a user story is, quote, to articulate how a software feature will provide value to the customer, end quote. Sasha wants to feel in control, but we have to dig deeper and find the real value. Underneath feeling in control might be doing their work more accurately, more efficiently, with fewer meetings or interruptions, or something else. If user stories are supposed to explain customer value to our team, wouldn't this be accomplished with more depth and accuracy by having everybody consume research sessions, or at least research insights and artifacts? A user story will rarely do justice to the complexity of customers' needs and tasks. More customer-centric and collaborative ways of working might make user stories obsolete. Rethink sprint goals. A common template for Agile sprint goals says, our focus is on achievement or outcome. We believe it delivers benefit or impact to user or customer. This will be confirmed when event happens. Supposedly, this helps teams focus on users and outcomes. But that's not a guarantee, primarily because of one risky word here: believe. Imagine work goals based on something someone believes, possibly a guess or assumption. Shouldn't we know that our solution delivers certain benefits because it has been evaluated and vetted? Shouldn't we check for customer value before we're planning engineering sprints? Every time we notice we are guessing, assuming, hypothesizing, making things up, or working based on what someone believes, our CX researchers should study whatever it is so we can know. I've rewritten Agile sprint goals to be more customer-centric. Our focus is on customer outcome. CX has confirmed that it delivers benefit to customer. This benefit will be measured by KPI or metric. In the old version, we're hoping to confirm later that there was a benefit for the customer. There might have been zero benefits, and you will find that out after weeks or months of expensive project team time. That's not Agile or Lean. CX can confirm the benefits and value earlier through user-centered design. Instead of hoping to find out later if something delivered benefits to customers, we can know this early and can adjust the solution if it's low on quality or value. Time estimation. Whether you are agile, waterfall, or something else, projects are virtual or physical assembly lines. We're moving knowledge, CX artifacts, code, and other elements along our virtual factory floor. This requires extensive and detailed planning. Assembly line stations don't want to be delayed waiting for something from the previous station. CX designers don't want to be delayed by researchers. Developers don't want to be delayed by designers. To improve our ability to estimate time accurately, first consider how many work hours there are in a work week. If we require a 45-hour work week, and some companies require fewer or more hours, we should humanely encourage at least 10 hours of meals and breaks per week. We inhumanely often require people in 15 hours of meetings per week. This would leave 20 hours per week to get actual tasks done. For example, if we estimate 90 hours for a particular task, that can't be completed in two 45-hour work weeks. We would need 4.5 weeks, and we might estimate 5 weeks just in case. I suggest always adding time for what I call predictable unforeseeables. Something will go wrong, but we don't yet know what. Earlier, we saw my company's plan where we estimated that a project would require 388 hours over 10 weeks for 3 people, plus a little help from a 4th person on one task. Put one jack-of-all-unicorns on this at 100% allocation, and 388 hours of work at 20 real work hours per week takes nearly 20 weeks. Of course, that's not agile. This would take even longer if this unicorn were allocated to this project less than 100%, as unicorns often are. There is often a chasm between what agency salespeople and account managers propose to clients and what creates great customer experiences. This also happens at our corporate jobs when project managers, product managers, or engineers guess the time CX needs. All of these non-CX roles rarely know the time it takes to do CX work well. The solution is easy. CX must estimate their own time early in planning and at every phase. Non-CX roles should not guess what CX staff will do and how long they need. Make sure that anybody creating the project scope or plan works with CX so that CX can decide which tasks to do, how many specialists are needed, and the required time. Post-release monitoring. Agile requires that we pursue user feedback to improve the PSE and push projects in better directions. Flavors of Agile are not always clear about what types of feedback are most helpful, what types are meaningless, or who proactively or reactively gets this feedback and how often. This is one of many areas where your CX department can shine. Qualitative and quantitative researchers can monitor metrics and KPIs and observe and speak to customers to learn what's working, what's not, and why. Getting well-collected, well-analyzed feedback from research professionals brings us actionable evidence more efficiently. What are we monitoring? 1. Original goals. We started this project with goals and at least one problem to solve. Did we solve those problems? Did we solve them well? Did we veer off course and fail to accomplish our goals? 2. Metrics and KPIs. What were our success criteria and KPIs? Have we met or exceeded these? If we fell short and don't understand why, we should conduct qualitative research to reveal the root causes. 3. Voice of the customer. What's the word on the street? What is customer support hearing related to our improved or new PSE? 4. Qualitative data. Researchers should observe or at least speak to some customers. Did we fix one thing and break another? Are there new pain points we should be aware of? How does the new solution work or not work for customers? Where is there room for improvement? 5. Experiments. Monitor experiments for short and long-term wins and losses. Are people clicking that button less but signing up more? Are people purchasing more items but complaining and returning more than average? Remember to watch for the longer arc of the customer journey. Short-term successes are sometimes long-term failures. If this is an A/B test, how do we assess which version wins? Can we observe some users to learn why B is better or worse? Reorganize PSE areas. Customer centricity and customer experiences are holistic across touchpoints, channels, and PSE. Has your organization divided PSE areas, domains, or product manager territories? We have often accidentally created silos. We broke the customer's workflows into pieces worked on by separate teams. This typically comes from an engineering-led approach, where we start with the amount of work that one engineering team can do and assign a product manager or product owner to collaborate with that team. We add one or more UX professionals and we narrow in on the work that team can do quickly. Companies that have divided their PSE areas this way must watch for collisions and overlaps where one team is accidentally working on something another owns. It is also sometimes difficult for a team to strategize and execute on only a piece of the solution because one or more teams own other pieces. Imagine teams who are true utility players, able to strategize, research, design, build, and deploy in any area of our PSE or across areas. This would also make sense because even if we wanted a team to focus on and own one small puzzle piece, we would still prefer, if not expect, that they have familiarity and knowledge of our entire PSE. Allowing teams to work on different PSE areas in each project could also keep work fresh for staff who might find working on the checkout for years stale and stagnant. How might this work? 1. Generative research delivers insights, opportunities, and actionable suggestions. 2. We write problem statements. 3. We prioritize these and create a roadmap or plan of which problems we will address in what order. 4. We match projects to the availability of a core CX team, CX researchers and architects. We will also need to coordinate members of the satellite CX team, service designers, and others who might be required for this project. Coordinating this can be complicated, and you might want to have a dedicated project or allocation manager overseeing this. Tools will also help. I have used Monday.com, but AHA and others can work. 5. Each specialty on the team estimates the necessary time to do their best work. This includes research, content, information architecture, interaction design, service design, visual design, testing, iteration, and all engineering tasks, plus other tasks related to non-digital experiences. This is also a great time to identify any lack of resources, including workers, tools, or budgets. 6. CX leads or managers, program managers, and other high-level project managers check for collisions and overlaps. For example, if one team is working on a project to implement Apple Pay as a payment form, and another team is about to start a larger checkout redesign project, these teams will need to communicate and coordinate. Perhaps the Apple Pay feature can be rolled into the checkout redesign and one team can move to another project. 7. The project team focuses on the features, functions, or services required to solve the problem. Each project team member works in their specialty area, collaborating where needed. 8. Engineering can be allocated in one of two ways. An engineering team always works on the same area of the PSE. If something needs to be coded in the checkout, Team X always does that. Nobody else touches their code. Or an engineering team follows their project team. They code various areas of the PSE based on what the project covers. An Agile or Scrum team is connected to a core CX team, and they always work together. End of list. Companies with broader PSE offerings won't be able to create project teams that can work on anything in the company. You might need to create some larger product areas where divisions make sense, such as a design system area, an integrations and APIs area, and a few PSE areas. 2 types of cross-functional teams. Companies often don't want to allocate resources to all of the debt we claimed we would fix later. Customer complaints are unresolved and broken promises sit in backlogs, iceboxes, and to-do lists. We don't want to delay new features to work on fixing old stuff. Companies with huge and increasing technical and experience debt often claim that we don't have enough CX, UX, or engineering staff to address what we and our customers know is broken. One solution is to create 2 types of teams. One handles all of the new work, discovery, experimentation, and new PSE. The other handles all of the fixes, CX and UX debt, technical bugs, performance issues, and small improvements. One of my apprentices got her first job as an associate product designer at HubSpot. Her main job was to design fixes to lower priority tickets that engineering had flagged as having UX debt or issues. As an entry-level job, she had a more senior designer as her dedicated mentor and coach. This is a multidimensional winner. A qualified, talented person gets an entry-level job with interesting responsibilities and frequent work reviews. Giving these associates lower priority tickets means they can take their time, get coaching, and learn how to create the best designs. Associates are not under pressure to deliver 5-star work on mission-critical projects. HubSpot knocks out some annoying bugs without taking more experienced CX or UX resources off higher priority projects. And customers see HubSpot acting on their complaints and pain points. Problems are being fixed and improvements are released faster than they used to be. Improving customer centricity should create a future with less debt to handle because it never went to market, but there will always be debt. If we don't have enough staff to fix PSE bugs, we will have to hire. We must stop making excuses for knowingly broken PSE that we are ignoring and deprioritizing. Project and team charters. You will need project and team charters that explain what we're doing, why, our success criteria, metrics, and the roles each of us will play so that we don't overlap. Teams often skip this step, leading to conflicts, confusion, inefficiencies, and other culture problems. Project and team charter templates are plentiful and easy to find online. Like any templates, they are garbage in, garbage out. No matter which layout or design you use, make sure that you have included information that will set you up for success and help avoid later conflicts, including: how will we address differences of opinion when we make a decision? Who makes final decisions in which areas? Who will be held accountable for what? What does accountability look like? What are our risks? How will stakeholders be measured or held responsible? What do stakeholders need, and how will we deliver what they need while also delivering what target users need? Do stakeholders have to report to people above them? Learn what kinds of data and details they need, in which formats, and how often they need it, so that there aren't conflicts or panic later. If you have standardized how your teams operate, you can incorporate your own templates into your playbooks. Update charters as team members change or team goals evolve. Revisit the charters when people slide into complacency and forget the points that were agreed on. Product management and product owner roles. We need to discuss another elephant in the room: the roles and responsibilities of product owners and product managers. As we will learn in the next chapter's interview, product management historically was well defined and covered a variety of strategic and tactical tasks. Over time, many of these tasks were broken off from product management and given to roles with deeper specializations related to those tasks. For example, nowadays, sales and marketing work on PSE pricing. This is rarely a product manager's responsibility. Some flavors of Agile explain that a product owner has the following key duties: communicating the PSE or project goals, defining and writing user stories for engineers, assisting or leading the engineering team in prioritizing or planning work for each sprint, validating that stories connect to the definition of done, prioritizing the backlog based on strategies and priorities, validating that completed work meets acceptance criteria, has been appropriately tested, and meets the definition of done, and acting as a liaison between stakeholders and engineering teams. Responsibilities of a product manager often include some of the above, plus understanding customers' needs and the market. Some sources demand that product managers do market research and/or CX research. Some sources suggest that product managers investigate and determine new markets or business ventures for the company. Deciding where the PSE need innovations or improvements. Translating business goals to our PSE. Determining product features. Some sources say this is solely prioritization. Some sources say the product manager must create the solution and then have UX designers document the product manager's ideas through UX artifacts. Some go further to require that the product manager execute on CX architecture and design tasks. Creating product strategy and roadmaps, aligning teams and stakeholders on product vision and strategy, determining success metrics, KPIs, and OKRs, and collecting and interpreting customer feedback after release. The definitions of both product roles raise questions, including: 1. Can self-organizing engineering teams prioritize their own work? 2. Can engineers and CX architects work together to create user stories, the backlog, or how engineering wants to organize their tickets or work? 3. Do QA engineers on a self-organizing team need product owners to check that QA has done its job? Could a project manager check that the right work has been completed? 4. Aren't our market research specialists better than the average product manager at market research? 5. Aren't our CX researchers better than the average product manager at CX research? 6. Given their more strategic roles, Could CX managers or directors handle most or all of the above product management tasks? 7. If CX creates an overarching customer experience strategy after generative or discovery research, do they need product managers to create the product strategy, which is part of the CX strategy? 8. If CX takes business goals into account in addition to customer goals during prioritization exercises, do they still need product managers to act as the voice of the business? 9. If CX prioritizes its own work, do they still need product managers to create a roadmap? Wouldn't CX create the roadmap? 10. If CX understands business and customer goals, wouldn't they be able to create appropriate KPIs and OKRs for projects and PSE? 11. If CX has the most knowledge about target audiences, the market, and customers' experiences, and has highly qualified architects, why would product managers design the PSE? 12. If CX monitors PSE after new features and services are released to the public, especially where we created a CX department that centralizes all qualitative and quantitative research, why would product managers handle post-release monitoring? End of list. Quote, product management isn't a specific role at Basecamp. While overarching vision and big picture direction comes from a small core team, the teams working on the features and cycles themselves pretty much lead themselves. End quote. Jason Fried, founder and CEO at Basecamp. Web link cxcc.to/A189. While product owners in various agile frameworks are considered necessary and are unlikely to go extinct in the coming years, the product manager role is increasingly debated. Many current product manager roles and certificate training are moving toward turning product managers into unicorns, able to do some research and design work. Some certificates require product managers to learn some coding. This leads to power struggles, overlapping or duplicated work, and morale issues. Web link cxcc.to/A163. If product managers continue attempting to hybridize product management and CX work, the likely outcome is that they will find it harder to be hired into their own jobs. If a job requires demonstrable skill and proficiency in CX research and/or design, a qualified CX or UX professional is more likely to be the selected candidate than the average product manager who might have little or no CX education, skill, or experience. If product management is to have a bright future, product organizations and leaders must identify a clear swim lane that can be the product manager's domain without overlapping with other roles. Figure 49. Screenshot from the Product Management Reddit. Web link cxcc.to/A188. The title is, quote, as a product manager, I stopped doing product management and became happier as a result. End quote. The post is quoted below. Ask yourself if this person is empowered or part of an empowered team. Quote, I became enamored with product management after reading Inspired by Marty Kagan and drinking all the Kool-Aid like continuous discovery habits, etc. I struggled for years trying to coach my teams, my stakeholders, my leadership on product management practices, but mostly it fell into deaf ears. The truth is, people just want to deliver features. So I stopped doing product management. Executive A thinks we should build X? Yes, sir, coming right up. Stakeholder B thinks we should do Y? Absolutely, I'll put it in the backlog. I've become a glorified, highly paid order taker now, but I just don't care anymore. Product discovery? Ha! Why do it if no one understands the need for it? I'll just deliver the feature everyone thinks we should do. The result? I'm much happier, less stressed, and I can get my 200,000 paycheck by coasting and playing the corporate game. Great if you can do real product management, but 97% of all companies don't care about it nor understand it. End quote.